Hello and welcome to Dell World. My name is Bob O'Donnell. I'm the founder and chief analyst at Technalysis Research and one of the hosts of Dell World Live. And I'm here to kick off the live streaming for Dell World Live with the first event of this 5th annual Dell World, the Dell Press Conference. So welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michael Dell.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for joining us. This is our 5th Dell World, and we are very excited to have you all here. We've got a lot of exciting things to talk about. You'll hear us talk about future ready and a lot of the technologies that we're creating, the solutions that we've been creating, and Dell World is really about highlighting the success that our customers have with the solutions that we've created. And you'll get a real sense for that customer focus throughout the couple of days here at Dell World. I do want to talk about the news of last week, the little news we made as it relates to EMC. And we're tremendously excited about this combination. It gives us a world-leading company in the 4 significant areas of IT today: in servers, storage, virtualization, and PCs, and it gives us an incredible position in the IT of tomorrow. Digital transformation, converged infrastructure, the software-defined data center, hybrid cloud, security, and mobile. The combination also gives us an incredibly strong go-to-market engine with access to the world's largest companies, as well as an incredible reach into small and medium-sized businesses and emerging markets around the world. This is combined with the R&D and innovation engine of EMC and Dell together, and the world-class supply chain that Dell has been known for. At incredible scale, a company with more than $80 billion in revenue. And in the leader quadrant in 22 Gartner Magic Quadrants, all operated as a privately controlled company. So we're incredibly excited about this combination. Also want to highlight in our press release, you're going to see the results from our 2nd Global Technology Index, Adoption Index, where we speak with mid-market companies about their adoption of new technologies like cloud, big data, and mobile and security. And we're also going to highlight for you over the next few days a broad set of solutions that we're creating and bringing to market. Now, tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, I'm going to have a chance in my keynote to lay out our strategy and announce a number of these new solutions. And I'm really glad that last week was the point at which we announced the combination with EMC, because this week I get to explain what I'll call the version 1.0 of the unifying theory of the universe. And we'll have version 2.0 when the transaction closes, so you have that to look forward to. But we have spent some time thinking about all this, and I think you'll get a very good sense for strategically where we're heading as a company, how we can deliver tremendous benefits to our customers, what it all means, and how incredibly well positioned the new combined company will be. Also tomorrow on stage, I'm going to show you some of the customers that we work with. You'll see a few logos on stage. But today I'm going to ask 2 of those customers to come up and share some of their stories. So I want to start with Rick Mears, who's the Chief Information Officer of Owens & Minor. So Rick, could you come up here and join us? thanks for being here, Rick. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Owens and Minor and what are some of the challenges and opportunities that you've been dealing with?
I'd be delighted to, and thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. It's a fantastic event, and you guys should be so proud.
Thank you.
Owens & Minor, you may know of us. We are a global supply chain logistics company. We grew up being a wholesaler of medical supplies to hospitals, and a 130-year-old company in that business. And growth in those markets allowed us to seek opportunities to leverage the things that we're really good at. And what we found is that we're good at getting the right items to the right place at the right time. So we look to leverage those skills to enter new markets such as logistics services and manufacturing and international markets.
And why don't you tell the folks here a little bit about your relationship with Dell and what we've been doing together and how that's sort of worked out for you?
Yeah. So as you know, we're a long-time customer of Dell. I think 17 years.
We appreciate that, by the way.
So that's, yeah.
So we, you started when I was 5. So that's no, just kidding. But yeah. Go ahead.
So most of the time, our relationship with Dell has been involved with IT services. And I think in the last couple of years, it's really flipped from the tactical operational to more of the strategic and transformational. Mm-hmm. And the way that you guys did that was you layered in solutioning. And what we really needed was solutioning around e-commerce and supply chain, which you guys know a little bit about those things. And on top of that, cloud computing, and taking the efficiencies of cloud computing and reinvesting that in better applications to allow us to, like I said, leverage what we do well into these other markets. And it's really given us an opportunity to grow the company that way.
So you're not just improving the efficiency of IT, you're using that as a funding mechanism to drive your customer-facing kind of business line functions to drive success.
That's exactly right, and we're looking to continue that cycle. We kind of are coming out of a cycle where we've gone really all in with the Dell Cloud and reinvested that savings into really transformational business applications and entered these new markets, and we're looking to kind of do it again. We really like to see, you got to focus on our current customer base, customer service, value-added services, but we got to always continue to reinvest in new market opportunities for growth.
Fantastic.
So,
well, great. Thanks very much, Rick. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you.
So it's now my pleasure to introduce Rob Klomps, who's the Global Head of IT Infrastructure for Rabobank.
Thank you very much.
So Rob, why don't you tell us a little bit about Rabobank and what are some of the challenges that you're dealing with in your business?
Yes, first of all, I don't think, not a lot of people will know Rabobank, but Rabobank is actually a big bank in a small country. So we're from the Netherlands, and we started as farmers in the Netherlands around 120 years ago. And the strategy of Rabobank is two things. It's banking for the Netherlands. We service around 8 to 9 million customers over there. And internationally, what we do is banking for food. So we try to support the farmers and the food chain in the world with banking.
And why don't you describe what we've been doing together and how that's worked out for you?
Yeah, what we do actually is end-to-end. So we do data center things with you as well already for a long time. Security is one of the areas where we really work together and try to improve together because it's a serious point that we want to be better at, not only for ourselves but for the whole industry. And also on the mobile workforce strategy, it's something where we really work together. One of the things that I think is a good example of the collaboration between Dell and Rabobank is the trading room that we replaced in Utrecht in the Netherlands around 4 years ago. And also the dealing room in London, we are replacing them right now. We had cutting edge technology a few years ago, which was brought by Dell, which was supported by Dell, and I think a lot of banks afterwards followed that route, and I think that's an example of working together. Another one which is more about partnership is what I really like is the social responsibility that we have as corporates. It's important from Dell point of view, it's important in our strategy as well. And what we did is we brought together Dell and Rabobank an initiative with Close the Gap, which means that we bring up the PCs from Rabobank, which we replaced already, to Africa with Close the Gap as an organization. And Dell is supporting that by, because in Africa we most times replace already PCs over there, and you are supporting that with bringing the PCs that are already there back to the demolition parts, to the original parts as well. So we do not have a lot of trouble in that side as well. So we're really working together to do that from a cradle-to-cradle perspective. So that's what I like about the partnership with Dell as well.
That's great. And what's next for our partnership from your perspective?
Yeah, for us as a bank, we want to be more agile in the financial market on a global scale. The Banking for Food asks for managing our OPEX better than we do today, so that you have to help with that as well, to be more efficient. And I think from a more innovative standpoint, what we see is that the mobile workforce, and especially in the world that we are working, that's rural environments, these have technical challenges in terms of networks and things like that. So overcome that and help us to help our customers, that's what we're looking for.
Fantastic. Well, our job is to enable you and help you succeed. So thanks very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
So now I'd like to invite our executive leadership team to come up here and join me, and we're going to entertain some questions, and Mark is going to moderate this for us. So come on up here, team, and we'll get started here.
Please wait for a microphone for your question and state your name and affiliation, please. Thank you.
Keep all those loose today. This is black over here.
Question in the front row.
Hi, here. My name is Gustavo. I'm from Brazil, Valor Econômico, a business newspaper. What I'd like to know is, I don't know if you're going to talk about EMC or not, but how are you planning to digest EMC and becoming an $80 billion company at the same point that HP is dividing itself? I mean, how are you planning to have an $80 billion company and HP didn't manage a $100 billion company?
Well, you know, I think we have a different viewpoint as to you know, how our company should evolve than HP does. I think, first of all, we think that scale is important. I think that when you look at this industry, you know, the companies that have succeeded in the volume data center space have been attached to large PC businesses, client businesses, and the volumes really matter. I also think that at the very moment that there is an explosion in devices, not just PCs and smartphones, but all the embedded devices, the Internet of Things, the connection between the device and the data center is very important. We also find that customers actually don't want more suppliers, they want fewer suppliers. I mean, one of the resounding things that we heard in the executive summit, you know, over the last day or so was that, you know, the CIOs were telling us that this is great, you're making our jobs a whole lot easier. You know, there's a lot of work to do, and Rory Reed over here has been appointed our Chief Integration Officer at EMC. A gentleman by the name of Howard Elias is his counterpart. And you know, their planning has already gotten underway to make sure we do this in a very thoughtful and successful way.
Other questions? Frank, back to the right there.
Hi, I'm Stacy Higginbotham, and I'm with Fortune. Do you see the EMC Dell's deal as a response to slower growth in the enterprise IT world, where you need to become a bigger fish in kind of a shrinking pond? Or do you see it as a response to kind of the competitive threat of the public cloud and Amazon?
No.
Okay, neither? What do you see it for?
I don't see it as either one of those. So you know, tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, you're going to know exactly how I see it. You know, if you can sit through the whole hour. You know, look, this is complicated. It doesn't you know, lend itself to soundbite, but you know, what we see is a number of things going on. First of all, you have all the CIOs out there who are trying to fund the digital transformation by reducing cost in the current infrastructure. And so they need to have that be very efficient, just like Rick was talking about in his business. And so there's that going on. There's also this move to virtualization, hyper-converged systems where the silos that had been built up in the second platform of IT are starting to go away. And so it's very important to be able to lead in that next wave of IT. And the combination of Dell and EMC give us a great leadership position in not only the existing technologies, but the new technologies. So it's about helping our customers address the challenges they have, enabling these new capabilities. I think companies are going to be measured by how able are they to take all this information and turn it into outcomes and success. And the companies that are able to do that will be successful and be around. The other ones will go out of business.
Another question in the front.
Thank you. Chris Mellor from the Register in the UK. In a world which appears to be going more and more towards hardware commoditization, are you determined to play fully on the hardware commoditization table against any particular white box vendor in general? And secondly, do you think you're going to head towards building converged engineered stacks a la Oracle in the future?
Well, let's see. You know, I think we've been in the hardware business a long time. You know, Jeff, why don't you start off with some perspective on this? You know, you and I have been doing this for 28 years together or so, something
3
like.
decades. It's been a while. Look, there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of discussion, and to kind of cut to the chase, we're fully committed to the PC business and all of the hardware business that moves up the stack. There shouldn't be any confusion to that. It's essential to what we believe is our end-to-end solution strategy that Michael will talk a bit more tomorrow morning. He alluded to it earlier. We believe controlling the edge of devices as well as all of the things that happen in the infrastructure are essential to delivering full solutions to our customer set. We are absolutely committed to the PC space. It's a scale business, and we will participate in every element of that scale business, from consumer to corporate, from notebooks to desktops to rugged to thin clients to workstations to gaming devices. I think I got all of our basic hardware categories there. The peripherals that go. I was coming to IoT. He beat me to the punch, which is typical. You guys like that. At least the humor today. If you think about where that goes and our footprint around those basic hardware devices, it gives us permission to sell up the stack, which for us in the PC business is upsell to peripherals. Our properties on the services side, which are very unique and differentiated for both consumer and the enterprise side, particularly around Pro Support Plus, and something that you'll hear about over the next couple of days that moves its way into Morris's enterprise business. If you think about the financing that we have and our ability to make it easier for companies to think about moving from a fixed cost to a variable cost component, the way to finance things, lease things. We're going to continue to invest in the capabilities to do that. And then you take all of that basic PC goodness and apply it to the Internet of Things that we think is billions of devices going to tens of billions of devices to hundreds of billions of devices that are going to be creating all sorts of data, which I think we just made a data acquisition announcement, or data storage announcement, I should say. So you think about that foundation, and then it's got to be secured. And the combined assets of the two companies and what we do today puts us in a very unique position in an end-to-end solution set that starts with little devices that are in front of all of you that you're typing on your keyboards. They haven't been replaced by phones, near as I can tell. The world of a display, a keyboard, and a microprocessor to do work is here. It doesn't go anywhere, and we're committed to it.
I'll add to Jeff's great points. More and more the conversation we're having, and especially even in this environment here today and yesterday, is around how do we help solve the customer's problems? How do you help me migrate from the old IT to the new IT? How do I become a hybrid cloud provider for my internal constituencies as well as my external customers? And how do I provide the next layer of services? How do I secure it? How do I make better decisions? They're asking us to help them in that journey. Right? And it starts with enabling an extremely agile and flexible infrastructure of storage, compute, networking, with great systems management, information management, security, all to be able to be provisioned and orchestrated on demand. Right? You'll see a few announcements from us tomorrow around what are we doing in enabling that across the board in all parts of the ecosystem. We're doing a lot more around blueprints in can you take both Dell-based architectures but also heterogeneous-based solutions that take advantage of the partners that we have and be able to deliver and solve the customer problems. You're also going to see, as part of your question, more an announcement around appliances, right? So take specific use cases where our customers are saying, we'd love to have that workload run better, and I have it run on Dell with all of the core value propositions that you've always represented. Open, standards-based, great TCO message. That'll be available and announced tomorrow in a couple of core areas for our business. So yes, how do we make it simple to consume? How do we help customers transition in this journey? How do we help them modernize their environment to take advantage of all the transformations that are happening in the industry? And they're expecting more and more from us. And with the assets that are going to come into the equation, the IP that comes with TMC, we'll be able to do that much more for our customers. So.
Question, second row on the right.
Yeah, hi, Hiawatha Bray, Boston Globe. Glad to hear you're still committed to the PC. That was partly what I was going to ask, but I wanted to ask something a little bit more specific. The astonishing lack of innovation and creativity in that particular segment. Are we going to see from you any investments in that to try to, I mean, the very fact that Microsoft is building something like the Surface
You don't
Book
want to go there.
is a message. It's a message that the industry has become rather stagnant. Even Microsoft is starting to build their own computers because they don't like what you're building. What are you going to do about it?
Well, I think there's been a tremendous amount of innovation in the PC space, and it will only continue. I've been at this a while, as we established earlier. We've only built an industry of 1.8 billion units of install base. 600 million of those are 4 years or older with a desire to upgrade those. So you think about from a hardware point of view, the opportunity that's in front of us. Just in our announcement 2 weeks ago in New York City, which Michael was at, we announced who has the world's smallest 13-inch notebook and 15-inch notebook in the marketplace with a UHD screen.